And welcome back to the Dragon Skill Inn, guys and gals. Once again, it is time for our adventures in Windia to continue. I have been super excited to play this game with you guys. The series has been going amazingly, and I don't know if you know this, but a tidbit about our channel. This series is now the longest running series on my YouTube channel in the history of the channel. I'm very proud to have done that, and I'm glad that you guys have been here with me for all of this. We have lots left to do. We have not crossed the sea yet. There's lots of things left to finish up, and that's kind of what today's episode is about. You see, today we've got some more to do with fish. I know last week we pulled the angler in, battled a fish boss, and we did a lot of epic fishing. This week, we are doing a puzzle, recipe, cooking. We'll call it a puzzle. It's a recipe for Shisu, which I think is a pun on sushi, but the Shishu solution. So I went online and I found a few answers to the question of how to prepare proper Shishu and why should you prepare proper Shishu. Well, today we're going to find out exactly how to do it. That's right, this walkthrough is entirely about Shishu and exactly how to get each part, every piece, to get the perfect Shishu. So let's get on into it. It's quiet here. Shisu is too delicious, yes? I don't have any Shisu. Yeah. Kneading together the seeds of the shally tree with vinegar into a small ball. Then you add a dash of horseradish, and finally, it's topped off with a succulent fresh slice of mackerel. What do you want to know how to make sushi for? I want to take some to the other side of it. Yeah, that's right. First of all, you put the mackerel on the shally seeds that have been put in vinegar and put on a little horseradish. And then squeeze it together. Okay. I'll tell you what. Why don't you come back here after you get all the ingredients and I'll show you how. I don't want you to get confused if I tell you everything at once. Anything else you want to know? Where do I get a shally seed? It goes close to water. Its seeds are really soft and white and go well with all sorts of food. There's shally trees around here. If you shake them, you should be able to get some seeds. Okay, cool. Vinegar. Vinegar is a liquid that has a bit of a sour taste to it. If you mix it in with shally seeds, it tastes exquisite with fish. I always use the vinegar I get at the coffee house over in the east. Anything else you want to know? No, I think I'm good. You're welcome. Yeah, come back once you've got everything. I'll help you put it all together. That's perfect. As you can see here at this site, the listed recipe for Shishu is as follows. At a certain part of Breath of Fire 3, you'll need to make Shishu. The ingredients are as follows. Mackerel. Caught at the fishing spot near McKee's Gorge. It will only appear after talking to the couple there about Shishu. after having visited Parch and spoken to the mayor. The mackerel will always be the largest one you've caught. Even if you've since sold your entire stock and caught another one, ask me how I know this. Aim for 68 centimeters or longer. It's very important. Over 68 centimeters gives you the best bet, and it follows the recipes that we found online to be the best that you can do. Shally seeds. Use Pico to knock some off of the tree behind the house in McKee's Gorge. You'll need 15, so twice should be enough. I went a little ham on that and got a lot, but it's okay. The recipe that I found calls for 17 Shally seeds, and we'll go over that in a little bit. Horseradish. On Ogre Road, where we ran into Werewolf Ray, use Ryu's sword to slice them. You'll need 7. Enter and leave to make it grow again. You'll find 3 horseradish plants in this one map section on Ogre Road. You'll have to go in at least 3 times to get all 3 and to have at least 7 of the horseradish. 7 is the number it's called for in the recipe that I found. Vinegar. Go back to the cafe near Momo's tower and have Gar speak to the person by the well. Play the minigame to get vinegar. You'll need 4, so once or twice should be enough. I believe you get 4 for 1 if you're lucky. You might get less. I got lucky and got 4 for 1 successful bit, and the recipe that I found called for 4 vinegar. So I stopped at 4 and we went on. That mini game was for real frustrating. Good luck with that. We'll show you later. Finally, once you have all 4 of these things, you speak to the lady at McKee's Gorge again, and then head back to Parch and speak to the mayor's assistant. You'll be taken to another screen where you can make the Shisu. The recipe is as follows. There's 15 Shally seeds, 7 horseradish, and 4 vinegar. Then knead twice. Note that you'll get the visual the first time you click knead. Yeah, I think that's where I messed up in my playthrough. We'll find out about what happens with that in a little bit. But that is the list of ingredients and where to find them for Shisu. Now let's go see exactly how that worked out for me. You look pretty strong there, fella. Think you could help me for a minute? I need to get some water out of the well here. Okay, I'll tell you how it works. So listen carefully, okay? First, you lower the rope by hitting the triangle button. Buckets at the end of the rope. Hits water, you'll hear a splash sound. When you do, stop lowering the rope. Also, make sure you remember how many times you push the button, okay? Then use the directional button to move the bucket back and forth to get it into the water. Keep moving it until you hear the bucket filling up. Pull the bucket up by pressing the X button. And that's how we draw water. See, if you press the button too slowly, or you don't listen carefully to the sounds, you'll mess up, so be careful. Got it? Want me to explain it one more time? No, I'm good. I think I have figured it out. Ready, set, go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You did it. Thanks so much. Thanks to you, I was finally able to get the water out. I know it's not much, but here, have some vinegar. You got vinegar. Come back if you ever need more water. This says I need 7 horseradishes. So this has literally become me just trying to get a big enough mackerel. There, that. Thank you. You've got everything, right? I think so. On how big a fish you catch, the bigger the fish, the larger the slices will be. Anything else you want to know? No, I guess that is what I need. As you can see, after quite some time and some frustrating mini games, we finally gathered all of the ingredients, we finally learned the recipe, and we are on our way to Parch to feed the mayor some Shisu from his hometown. Let's see how it works out. Yeah, Sishu. Here we go. Alright, mackerel. 1 mackerel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 4 vinegar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 7 horseradish. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need. And what's this? This is Sishu. Whew. That horseradish has got a good kick to it. Mayor's in high spirits again. The Outer Sea, eh? And you want me to tell you about the legendary Mariner? I'd really like you to give me the shaman ring, but normally I'd tell you to get such foolish notions out of your head, but I owe you one for the Sishu, don't I? Shisu. Here, take this. You get the sea charts. That shows all the currents in the sea. Around here, if you follow it, you should be able to get through the crags to the east of here. That's where you'll find him. The legendary Mariner. East of the village, you'll have to do some searching. Well, guys and gals, as you can see, we didn't get the Shaman's Ring, which is the highest prize for this particular minigame, but we did get the Lacquer Armor, which is a good piece of equipment. And since I'm not on a perfect playthrough, I'm just doing a casual run, I am going to accept the Lacquer Armor as a prize. I know where I messed up to not get the Shaman's Ring. When you do the need part, you only get the animation on the first one, and I pushed for a third need, which changes the recipe, and it's not the exact right thing. It's close. You get the next best prize, but I'm pretty sure it came down to needing for the third time, not just stopping at 2, because I didn't know the animation didn't play. So just trust the button. Need twice. Get your Shaman's Ring. Little piece of advice from me. So as you can see here, the rewards list. The Shaman's Ring is the best reward for the minigame. The Lacquer Armor, the Barbarossa, which is a really good blade. The Sage's Frock, which is good. What is that? The Wisdom Fruit, Wisdom Seed, and the Ammonia. So the best things that you can get, of course, is the Shaman's Ring, but you can get a Shaman's Ring from the Fairy Village if you build the trading center and you trade items with them. Eventually they'll sell you a Shaman's Ring. The Lacquer Armor, which is good, and the Barbarossa, the Sage's Frock, those are all really good. So any of those things that you choose to take for your reward, you could play around with the recipe a little bit and figure out exactly how to get each one of those. But that's how you do it. That's the recipe for the Shisu, and that is how you build your perfect Shisu for the mayor to get the chart of the currents out at the middle sea so that we can move the boat out to find the legendary mariner. But now that we know where to find him, now that we've finished the Sishu, let's go find out what he's got to tell us about traveling through the Middle Sea. What? Yeah. There it is. Gotcha. Perfect. The charts say that the tides only allow passage through these shallow waters for a limited time. You'll need to hurry to beat the tides. Okay. Oh, shit. Dang it! That was a much better run. It was not perfect by any means, but that was a much better run. Oh, it let me get there anyway. He looks like a guy. He's from a he's from a shelter. He's from Fallout. Look at him. He's in his little Pip-Boy outfit. I know, Dwan. Oh, I know. We've got guests. Parrot. He says parrot. That's a guild ship, ain't it? What would the guild want with me? Anyways, welcome. Come inside, have some coffee or something. And so, we hope to ask the legendary mariner how to cross the sea. Legendary mariner? What? They still calling me that? My name is Cucuse. I'm not a sailor. I haven't explored the reaches of the outer sea. What? Momo's like, what the fuck? Then you don't have a boat we could use? Well, I did come from the other side of the world, but as a castaway. Then you do know how to cross the sea. Please tell us. We have to cross it. Impossible. No middle sea boat could make the trip. Besides, there's nothing worth mentioning out there. Yeah, right. Then where do all those machines come from? If you got here, then there must be a way for us to get there. Please, Cucuse, tell us how. If you're that determined, then maybe there's a way. You must find a certain ship. And he's gonna make me... yeah. There's it. It's a large ocean-going transport. If you could get aboard it somehow. That is a big old boat. I only said it might work. I doubt this will work. But here goes. See? I don't think we could stop it that way. Hey, something's moving. Oh. Zig, get us out of here, quick. Zig's like, my boat. My boat. Tell me, what were you thinking? Ray went straight overboard. That was close. I guess it attacks anything that gets close to it. We need a new plan of some sort. What should we do, Base? Good question. What are we gonna do, Mr. Base? You're the captain now. I just does what the captain says, huh? You should probably talk it over with your friends before making up your mind, yeah? Well, guys and gals, it looks like we've got ourselves a little bit of a quandary for next week. Do we ram the black ship? Is that really the play we go with? I mean, it seems like our only option. So, probably so. We're gonna have to line it up just right for all of us to make it from our boat to the back of the black ship. But I trust Zig will get us there safely. Why don't you join us next week, Thursday, 10 a.m., where we will play some more Breath of Fire 3 for our Thursday throwback at the DSI, and we've got a lot of things to do. So, when we leave Windia behind, we go across the sea. That's the rest of Windia for us until after we meet the gods. And there's some things I'd like to do before we leave. So, let's check our checklist and find out our Middle Sea expedition checklist is really all about. One of the things on our checklist before we go sailing across the Middle Sea on new adventures is our masters list. If you go to this website right here, you'll find this list where you can keep up with the skills and level requirements of all the masters in the game. As you can see, there are very many to choose from, and there are a ton, just a ton of strategies that use all of these masters, or most of these masters, in different combinations with different characters to get a unique playthrough. I have decided to train under Bunyan. I've given Nina to Migas. Pico trains under Yggdrasil. I really think I might put Momo with Delonzo just for the power boost and the hit chance. Delonzo makes your hit percentage go up, and I would really like if Momo could hit better. So that's kind of how this chart works and how the masters work. And before we go across the ocean, I really need to check in with my masters and make sure that we can get all of the skills that we want to get from our trainers before we don't see them for a very long time. Also, we could get anyone we'd like to train through the rest of the game under a master to get their stats where we'd like them, or to learn new abilities after the fact. Mostly for our stat gains, I think. We can set those trainers up now so that while we're leveling on our way to see God, we can gain different stat adjustments based on our master's levels. So that's one of the things that I want to do before we sail across the Middle Sea. Another one is to double check for equipment. I know if I had 30,000 Zenny, I could probably spend it all on lion's belts and high boots and better armors and things like that. So while we're doing some leveling before we leave, I want to gain some money as much as possible and spend it on some gear to get our gear leveled up before we travel across the sea, so that we're more prepared to fight the monsters over there and find out about what's going on where God is. I'd hate to get across the sea and realize that we're underleveled and under-equipped, so I'm going to focus on that a lot in our upcoming episodes to get us ready to go across the sea. So that's what we have to look forward to. Also, I definitely want to get our fishing title elevated to as high as possible. We have finally ground to the Angler Plus, but we've got lots of levels to get left on that. We want to find the deluxe rod. We want to finally manage to get it up high enough, our level rank high enough, so that when we do come back from seeing God, we'll be able to get that best rod in the game. That is the real goal, because then we can go fishing as a hobby instead of as a need. So I have that to look forward to. So if you guys would join me next Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Dragon Scale Inn on Twitch. We'll be looking into all of these things and knocking off some tasks and some side quests and a little bit of our mission before we do finally travel across the Middle Sea to go seek out God. I hope you guys join me. Until then, I love each and every one of your faces, and I'll see you next week.